Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. It's a very good evening. So let's start. So today, as I told you people, I'll show you how to develop REST services using Java Standard API Checks RS along with Jersey framework. So RESTful services. You see, REST web services are built to work best on the web or internet. Yeah. So web services, of course, they are web-based applications itself, I can say. REST is an architectural style, you see, that specifies constraints such as uniform interface. Yes, we should have a uniformity. That is the main thing which you'll see here in REST architecture. Uniformity that is applied to a web service induce desirable properties such as performance, scalability, modifiability that enable services to work best on the web. So this REST architecture, it gives us all these advantages, I can say. Yes. Here, in REST architecture style, you'll find that data and functionality are considered as resources. They're actually called as resources. Yeah. In this REST architecture, remember this point. Data and functionality is called as a resource. And to access these resources, we use methods. We got methods. To access these resources, we got methods. Okay. So sorry, URLs, not methods. You got URLs. So which are links, you know that. So the resources are acted upon by using set of well-defined operations. Yes. So when we talk about resources, I told you data or functionality is called as a resource here, and they are represented using HTTP methods. I can say you'll find that the REST architectural style constraints an architecture to client-server architecture. Yes, the most important thing here, you see, when we talk about REST architecture, it is based on client-server architecture. So it is actually based on client-server architecture, I can say. Yes. You know, and it is designed such a way that it works very well with stateless communication protocol like HTTP. Yes, it works best with HTTP. Yeah, in fact, we can only use HTTP here to work with this REST services, I can say. Okay, yes. Now you see that resources are operated using well-defined operations. You see that well-defined operations, you'll find that they are represented using HTTP methods. We'll see that. Okay, yeah. So next, before we move any further, first I would like to show you people a sample example of how a RESTful service looks like. Okay, yeah. So first of all, if you want to develop a RESTful web service, so you can go to the Jersey framework site which we saw in the last class. Here, from here, we'll take that Maven script. So this Jersey framework people are providing a Maven script which we can make use of to create the web services project here, RESTful web services project. Okay, yeah. If you scroll down here, mm, I'll give you the link. You have the stable version. So JAX RS 2.1 version, the specification version is 2.1 and Jersey framework version is 2.6. Okay, Jersey framework version is 2.6. If you can check this, this is what we are using now. Okay, so here if you scroll down, you will find this Maven script. You see, if you want to create a servlet container deployable Jersey 2.26 web application, you can use this script here, which is provided by Maven. No, sorry, this Jersey people itself. Okay, yes. So I will copy this Maven script. I hope you all have Maven. I guess yes. Earlier I made you people to install Maven and configure Maven on your machines, right? Yeah. Just a minute, please. Yeah, I'm sorry. So let's take this Maven script. So remove the slash. Okay. So this is the Maven script. I want you people to execute it in a command line. Okay. Yes. So let me also save this Maven script here. Let me just write it to save this Maven script to your Google Drive as well. Maven script to create REST project. Okay. Yes. Okay. So from where you will execute this command? From the command line. Okay. Yes. So make sure that here you have a folder on the in the file system, Maven work folder somewhere. Yes. So here, see, I have a folder called as mvn rest. So I'll browse to that folder, mvn rest. As of now, I just got I got just one folder here. If you can check this. Now you can paste that Maven script here this way. Okay, press enter. So are you people executing that Maven script? Yes.
We need to create a folder and run this script.
Yeah, somewhere you can store this project files. In Eclipse terminal, it will be difficult. From the command line, you have to execute it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me do it simultaneously.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
it's just a simple folder. It won't be a big deal. Because that instruction is a command line instruction. So in Eclipse, you won't find that options here. So let me know if people are ready.
It's downloading so many files. For you, I don't see that much.
I'm not yet started. Basically, I have to start here. So, and one more
Oh,
thing, yeah, definitely,
no.
I'm,
Even before this,
yeah, it will do it because this is the first time you're executing that Maven script, especially which needs REST
okay,
libraries, step framework libraries, and all. So I did this number of times. Already the libraries are downloaded for me. So Maven won't download every time, we create this Maven script. Okay, we run this Maven script. Already the libraries are downloaded because
okay,
previously I've executed this command many times to create the project.
okay.
So now what you'll do is here, first of all, once you run this command, so it should show you this, it will show you this message, define value for property group ID. Yes. So for um, group ID means the packaging structure which you would like to use here. So I'm giving it as com.mtc.amp. Next, artifact ID. So artifact ID means, so basically it refers to the project name. So what is the project name you wish, what you want to give? I'll call it as a REST proj. Snapshot version, let it be 1.0. So the packaging, yes, it is taking the confirmation. So yeah, these are the details. You can just type in Y and press enter. So based on this information, it should create a project like this. You see, this is what is expected. Build success. So what about you people? Yeah, I done.
Yes.
Okay, so I hope others are also able to execute this Maven script without any issues. Now, once you're done executing this Maven script, so you will find this folder resproj. In this folder resproj, yeah, you should see this form.xml file in the src folder. So if you open this form.xml file, so you got the project details here, the group ID, artifact ID, packaging where here we got the dependencies related to this jersey. Um, and here you see we got the couple of dependencies related to jersey itself. That's it. So this is what you'll see in this form.xml file. Okay, yes, jersey libraries. The dependencies related to the jersey libraries. Fine. Now what I'll do is here, though we created this project from the command line, so because it would be difficult for us to work with the code from the command line, so we can import this Eclipse, we can import this project into the Eclipse ID. So let's try to import this project into Eclipse ID. Okay, yeah. So I'm importing that Maven project into Eclipse ID. For that, you see, go to the file. You got import option here. Select this imports. You got Maven. Under the Maven, you should see existing Maven projects. Here, select this option, existing Maven projects. Click on next. And then you can browse to the folder where we have created this Maven project now. CMV and REST. This is the second one. See REST proj. Select this folder, REST proj. Click on OK. So you see the ID will identify the bomb.xml file and click on finish. So this is your Maven project. So just yeah, it's building it. So in the right down you'll find this validating REST building REST You have to wait after importing it. Okay. Yes. So once you're done, the next thing, see, because it's a web application, we have to make sure that we add a target runtime. So that means you want to run this web services on which server. Okay, the target runtime. So select the project, right click on it. After importing it, select the project, right click on it, go to the properties. In the properties, you see here, See, yeah, you'll find the targeted runtimes. If you can check this, we got something called as targeted runtimes. Yes. So in the targeted runtimes, you see we got this Tomcat server. Check this option. Okay, Tomcat server. Check this option, and you can click on apply. All of you, I hope you people are doing this. Okay, click on OK. That's it. So now, once you're done, here you see the next thing is we can actually, so you should find it. Definitely you'll find it. If you right click on the project, go to the properties, targeted runtime should be there. Did you integrate Tomcat server with here in the Eclipse ID? So you should definitely see that targeted runtime should be there. So select the project now. If you still see any error marks here, they should go by this time. If not, select the project, right click on it, go to this Maven option. Under the Maven, you will find the update project. Okay, you can select this Maven update project option here. Select this update project, click on OK. Make sure that this project is selected and click on OK. That's it. Okay. So now here you see we have a sample RESTful resource class here, I can say. So let's check this one. See, this is your RESTful resource class. You know that Maven script which I use, the template, basically it created this project, I can say. Let me explain that Maven script first. Okay, so let's go to this Maven script. What details we have here? First of all, mvn is the command to invoke that Maven, and after that here we have this archetype generate to create a project, and you see that group ID. So it refers to that libraries related to this Jersey framework. Next thing, archetype artifact ID is very important. Okay, just a second. Sorry. So archetype artifact ID is very important. Here archetype artifact ID, you will find that it refers to that template, project template, which helps us to create this which helps us to create this RESTful project, I can say. Okay, it refers to that template here, which is helping us to create this Maven based RESTful project. Okay, just see quick start web app. So this is the template name, so which is helping us to create that RESTful project here, I can say. Yes. So after that, here we have the archetype version. That means that the Maven version is the Jersey framework version which we're using here, 2.26 is the Jersey framework version. This way we got the complete details about the project which we wanted to create here in this Maven script. Jersey quick start web app. That is the main template which is helping us to create this test project. Okay. So yes, Saujanya had a question. So why I didn't create this project from the terminal? So generally you can do it, but the thing is here, I just wanted to make sure that sometimes you may get issues to try to work from the terminal from the Eclipse, because uh, you may have some file permission issues. So I don't want to make you people run into that issues. So just make sure that you try to execute this Maven script from the command line. But if you still insist, you can just use it from the terminal also in Eclipse. That also is fine. After that, you have to make sure that the project is imported into the Eclipse. Yes, fine. So now you see the template which I used here. It created the sample RESTful service class, I can say. Okay, this is a sample RESTful service class. Yes. Okay. Now here in this RESTful resource class, we got a method, so which returns a string. What is it? Got it. That is a string. So I'll make it return a different value. Let's say welcome to REST API services. Okay. Now this is a method. Get it? The method name is not a concern for us. You see, on top of this method, we got this annotation. It is called as a HTTP method designator. What is it? It is actually HTTP method designator. So which indicates what type of CRUD operation this method represents. This method here actually, it represents what type of CRUD operation. So you know what, the get HTTP method get, it indicates that, sorry, this method designator at the rate get method designator indicates that here it performs a read operation. Okay, so basically it represents a read operation, I can say. Yes. The get method designator indicates that this method, it represents a read operation here. Yes, this method, when it is invoked, simply it returns some data. Simply it returns some data. That is what it indicates. Okay. So as I told you people, we got HTTP methods in the protocol. We got HTTP methods in the protocol. So each HTTP method, it actually it is used to specify what type of request the client is placing. Okay, what type of request the client is placing. HTTP methods. In HTTP protocol, we have HTTP methods. Okay, in HTTP protocol, we have HTTP methods. So these methods are used by the client to specify what type of request the client is placing. So I will describe four methods here of now. Okay, yes. List of HTTP methods which represents CRUD operations, especially the methods which represent CRUD operations. I'm talking about those. Generally, the client uses get method to fetch a resource. So we can say it represents read operation here. Okay. Similarly, we got post. So the client uses post method to fetch a resource. Yes. Update a resource. You can see fetch or update a resource. So here we can say it represents update operation here. Yes. Similarly, we have put. So the client uses put method to add a resource. So you can say it represents add operation or create operation. You say, okay, add or create. Next is delete. So the client uses delete method to delete a resource. We can say it represents delete operation. You can say it represents a delete operation here. Yes. So these are the various HTTP methods which you got here. Yeah. Next, here we use this HTTP methods to represent the RESTful services methods, I can say. Okay. So because each HTTP method, basically you can relate it to one of the CRUD operations. Okay. Yes, we can relate it to one of the CRUD operations here. So we use this, methods here to represent the RESTful service methods. Yes, a note here. The above HTTP methods they represent CRUD operations. We use these methods to represent or we use these methods to specify what type of operation or what type of operation, what type of CRUD operation the RESTful service or we say resource method performs on the resource. Okay, so this methods basically they represent the CRUD operations, and that's the reason why here we use these methods. Okay, that's the reason why here we use these methods to specify what type of CRUD operations the RESTful resource or service methods they perform on the resource. Resource means, as I told you people, it could be data or functionality. When I say resource, we are referring to data or functionality, anything. Yes. Okay. So in in JAX RS API, we have HTTP method designators to configure the nature of CRUD operation the method represents. Following are the list of HTTP method designators. Number one, get represents read operation. Okay, put represents create or add operation. I can say create or add. We can say next post. It represents update operation. update or also add, that yes, we can use it. Next, delete operation. It represents delete. Yes. So each method represents an operation here. Yes. Post is exceptional case. It can be used for both update and delete. Add. Yes. So this way, you see, in REST services, a uniformity is maintained. In REST services, a uniformity is maintained. So you see, always the methods are classified based on the nature of operation they perform. Always the methods are classified based on the nature of operations they perform here. Yes. So this is regarding the HTTP method designator. Okay. Now on top of our resource method, you see this is a resource method now. In the RESTful service class, we'll have a resource methods. On top of this class, we got this resource method, right? Sorry, HTTP method designator. What does it get? Now, I forgot to tell you people one more thing here. You'll find that this method designator, it not only represents that operation, the CRUD operation, but also you'll find that here it also indicates that this method, it handles that HTTP method request. In this case, because this method is annotated with @gets, so the client can handle HTTP method. Sorry, this method can handle HTTP method get request here. Okay, this method, it handles HTTP method get request. Yes, you'll find that the RESTful services, as I told you people, they're based on HTTP protocol itself. Yes, and it is based on client-server architecture. So this is a RESTful service which can be accessed by the clients, and the clients, how they will access or communicate with the services, RESTful service, using HTTP protocol itself, and they will use HTTP methods in the protocol. Okay, yes, don't forget. Now you see here we have another annotation on top of this method. What is it? Apart from this get method designator, we have producers, @producers. So producers here, it indicates what type of response or what type of data this method returns. In this case here, it indicates that this method, it returns text contents, text, plain text. That is what it indicates. Okay, it will not return plain text always. In this case, it returns plain text. That is what it does. Okay, in this case, it returns plain text, I can say. Okay, yeah. So you let me add that note also. Yes. To call a resource method annotated with HTTP method designators, the client is supposed to use the appropriate HTTP method. Okay, client needs to use the appropriate HTTP method. So if it is annotated with @get, so HTTP method get should be used. So if it is annotated with @post, HTTP method post should be used. If that method is annotated with delete, HTTP method delete has to be used. So this way, appropriate method needs to be used here. Okay, appropriate method has to be used. Yes. Okay. Now this method in this case, it just returns a string. Welcome to REST API services. But how will you call this method? What do you people think? How will you call this method? You know, in order to call this method, what we need, yes, even this point it was mentioned in the PPT. What is it? Let's see. Let's go back. Yeah, you see the third point here. In REST architectural style, data and functionality are considered resources, yes, and are accessed using URIs. Okay, they are accessed using URIs, I can say. Yes, fine. You see, now what is a URI for this method? You see, for the methods, though you can configure the URI, but generally you see for that RESTful resource class, the URI is configured here. If you can check this, for the RESTful resource class, got the URI which is configured. Have you noticed it? Yeah. What is the URI here? URI here, my resource. That is the URI. What is configured? My resource. So now to access that resource method which belongs to this resource class, we can use this URI. What is it? My resource. We can use this URI, my resource. But the thing is, you have to place HTTP method get request. You have to place HTTP method get request here. Okay. Yes. So let's try to place the request for this resource method. Okay. So now I'm deploying this application on the server. Okay. So now you see the application is deployed successfully, and we got this page. It's just a dashboard kind of thing for your page, for your application. Now, let me place the request for that resource method. What I'll do first, use this application's URL, http localhost colon 9999 slash restproj. Okay, so this is the application's URL. But here there is one more thing which you need to know. What is it? See, here in this project you will find web.xml file. In this project you will find web.xml file. In the web.xml file you have some configuration here. Okay, just can you people guess or imagine what is this configuration all about? Yes, what is this configuration all about? Just a guess. Actually, it is servlet configuration here. Okay, so this configuration which you're looking at here, it is actually a servlet configuration. A servlet is configured here. It's a servlet configuration. You see, the servlet class name. So generally, servlet element is used to configure a servlet. This is a servlet class name. What is it? Servlet container, which belongs to that package org.classfish.jersey.servlet package. Who's providing the servlet class? It's a predefined servlet. It's a predefined servlet. Jersey framework is providing the servlet. Jersey framework is actually providing the servlet here. Okay. Yes. And this servlet has got initialization parameter. It reads this parameter packages Jersey config server provider package. It's a standard parameter, and the value, this value refers to the package where you have the RESTful resource classes. In which package you got the RESTful resource classes? The package details are configured here. If you can check this. Okay. In which package you have the RESTful resource classes? The package details are configured here. You can check this. Okay, fine. Load on startup indicates that this servlet will start. This servlet will be instantiated, initialized as soon as the application loads. Yes. And the servlet mapping. You know, in the last class we saw that for a servlet you will have a URL, right? So here, this is how you can configure a URL for the servlet. Okay, this is how you can configure the URL for the servlet in the web.xml file. We saw using annotations. We saw the servlet configuration using annotations here, but you see this is XML based configurations. What you're looking at here is XML based configurations here. So you see the alias name of the servlet is Jersey web application. See, for that alias name itself, the URL is configured. I'll make it rest. slash rest slash star. What does it mean? You see, all the requests, all the client's requests whose URL is prefixed with rest. Okay, the client's URL, if it is prefixed with rest, this servlet is supposed to intercept them. Actually, this is the main servlet. Okay, it's a predefined servlet provided by Jersey. So this is the main servlet which is responsible for intercepting that incoming requests, and it will call that appropriate RESTful resource methods here. Okay, this servlet container itself will call the appropriate RESTful resource methods here. Yes, all the client's requests will go through this servlet itself. Okay, yes. So I hope you people got it.
Actually, I'm having issue when I'm starting this Tomcat server. It's giving an error because it's looking for a backup folder under Tomcat 8.5, and I don't have it in my folder path.
Backup folder. By default, it will be there actually. You don't.
Yeah, it is not.
Niharika, I think you need to give the permission to that directory.
Yeah,
that is the issue. I faced the same issue earlier.
But yeah, I need the complete details. Or else, what you can do is, yeah, always run the Eclipse using the administrator privilege. Okay, that will solve all the issues. You have issues, permission issues, file permission issues. What you will do is, yeah.
Not file permission. That folder itself is not there. The backup folder.
Generally, that won't be the issue. You do this. Right click on it and run as administrator always.
Okay. Yeah, let me do it again.
Yeah. All of you try to run the Eclipse using run as administrator option, so that Eclipse will not have any issues accessing your file system. Okay. Yeah, that is a common error.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Okay, fine. So now you see, this is the main servlet. You see, as I told you people, nowadays we don't directly create servlets and all, so you have predefined servlets in the framework which we'll be using. That's the reason why we will not be working with servlet programming much. Instead, we'll be concentrating on this framework. Yeah. So now, you see, this is a predefined servlet which will be intercepting the incoming client's requests. And what it does here, it will in turn will look for the appropriate RESTful resource method for which the request is placed, and it will call that resource method, I can say. Yes, that is what happens. So now this servlet will take that request which is placed for this URL. So what is the URL of this RESTful resource class? See, this is a root resource class, I can say. You see, it is exposed using this path, my resource. It is exposed using this path, my resource, I can say. Yes. Here, you'll find that now you can place the request for that resource method to get it using the URL my resource, and the HTTP method designator should be get, sorry, not HTTP method, basic method. HTTP method should be get here. Okay, we need to use HTTP method get. Okay, so I'll place the request. You see, place the request for that URL. But always make sure that this URL is prefixed with REST because it has to go through that servlet container. Okay, so check this URL all of you once. Okay, now I'll place the request. Let's see. Oops. Let me start the server. Get started. Let me stop the server once. It starts again. Okay, you see, you got the response text here. If you can check this. Welcome to REST APIs. Okay, now you see, it's a web service method. When I say web service method, what is the specialty of that web service method? As I told you people, web services are platform and language independent, right? Yes. Now, have you noticed it? I guess we never did this earlier. How we are calling that method? How we are calling this method? What you understood now? How we are calling this method? Get it? What we did? Yes. How did we call that method? Just now you saw that, right? Using the URL.
With HTTP, sir. Yeah.
Using the URL, right? So this URL, we are specifying this URL here in the browser. Now the browser, the client, what it does, it constructs a HTTP request. Yeah. What happens? The browser, yes, it constructs a HTTP request, and it uses HTTP method get to place a request for this URL, my resource, right? So when the request is placed, what happens initially, as I told you people, so this servlet container, the predefined servlet which is configured here, will be intercepting that request. It will be intercepting that request. And then it will read that URL. What is the URL? My resource. So that my resource is associated to which root resource class or which RESTful services class here. It is associated to my resource, my resource class itself. Yes, we got this class, my resource. So now what it does here, simply, now it will look for the HTTP method. So the client is placing the request using which HTTP method? Get. The client is actually placing the request using HTTP method get here, right? So now that that servlet container, it will look for the method annotated with HTTP method designated get. Okay. Yes. Is there any method annotated with get? Yes, we have one method which is annotated with get here. Yes. Simply, it will call that method. Okay. It will call that get method, get it method here, which will return the results, the response. And now what happens? You see here the framework itself will read this response data. It constructs a HTTP response, adds this response data to the HTTP response, and sends it back to the client here. That's it. The response is sent back to the client here. That is how it works. Yes. So I hope you people got it. So basically, we are placing the request for that method using the HTTP request, right? Using that URL. So how can we justify that this is a RESTful web service? Sorry, it's a web service method, because we are accessing that using HTTP request and URL. So HTTP request or that URLs, they are not specific to any platform or any language. They're not specific to any platform or any language, I can say. I hope you people got the point. Okay. The HTTP protocol or that URLs, they are not specific to any platform or any language also. Okay. Yes. They are platform independent, language independent. So that is the approach which you're following to access that RESTful resource method, right? Yeah. Even the response written by this method as of now, RESTful services method, it returns a response which is in the string format, plain text, which is not specific to any language or platform. Yes. So we are accessing it in a language independent way, platform independent way, right? Yes. Because this URL's HTTP protocol is not specific to any platform or language. You know, any application which can construct this HTTP request, any application which can construct a HTTP request can place a request here for this resource method. It will be able to place a request for this resource method, I can say. Is it clear for you people, all of you? You got it? So generally, okay, as of now here it returns plain text, but we can make this methods to return um, some other type of data, especially which is language and platform independent. So what are the data representation formats which are language and platform independent? I did mention about it in the last class. What are the data representation formats which are platform and language independent? Yes.
XML.
Yes, XML. That's right. And
JSON.
JSON. Yes. Now we'll make our methods to always return XML or JSON data. Okay, RESTful resource methods will always return XML or JSON data here. Yes. See, now you'll find that here this methods are annotated with HTTP method designators, right? So it helps us to classify these methods based on the CRUD operations which they perform. So here also uniformity is maintained always. Okay, yes, here also uniformity is maintained, and always we access this resource methods using URL itself. This way it is standardized in that services. The URL is used, the uniformity is maintained here. That is what I can say. Yes. So next thing, what I want to do here, and I would like to show you people how to use Hibernate framework along with this REST and develop a RESTful service which returns some product details. You know, the product details will be fetched from the database server. But I would like to do it in the next session. So as I told you people, tomorrow we are going to have a long session. Okay, so it will be for 3 hours. Once again, reminder, it starts at 5 a.m. Indian time, Thursday. It will be for 3 hours. Sorry, and I'll be talking about JavaScript and Ajax in this class. Ajax, okay, so which are very important for us. Yeah, so this is the base for your jQuery, Angular and all. Yes. So tomorrow you can use your regular link to join this class at 5 a.m. Indian time. Okay, yes, 5 a.m. Indian time. So Thursday, so you people Wednesday evening, 5:30 p.m.
Before you conclude, I have a question.
Yes.
I'm still getting that HTTP status 404 error when I try to run that /rest/my resource.
Did you?
I did stop the server.
Did you edit the path here, URL pattern to REST?
Where?
In the web.xml file.
Web.xml. Oh, okay.
So
okay, now I got it.
Yeah, if it is web API, you can use it actually. Same, you can use it, whatever it is.
Yeah, I think I got it now. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay then. Good night, all of you. So let's meet tomorrow and we'll continue.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.